material thickness is more than the continents, like 3 gram per cubic centimeter. Right? We already described the crust in our last lecture. Now come to the mantle. Now how the scientists came to know that there is another layer. They know about this by the discontinuity. That discontinuity occurs with the changing the velocity of the P waves. When the P waves moves in the crust, it is moving, the velocity is 6 kilometer per second. The P waves velocity is 6 kilometer per second. But after some time, after a depth, it increases to 7 kilometer per second. Right? So it means there is a sudden change in the velocity of P waves. It gives us idea that there is some another material. There is some another layer of different material. So this discontinuity where the velocity of P waves changes, that is known as Mohorovicius discontinuity. Because the seismologist Mohorovicius, he recognizes this continuity the firstly when he was recognizing the earthquake waves of Kulpa Valley in Croatia in the year 1909. And after that seismologist, this continuity is known as Mohorovicius discontinuity. It means after the changing of velocity, there is another layer of earth, and this layer is known as mantle. Right? So first of all, crust, as I told you, the thickness of crust is 33 kilometer. Right? So 0 to 200 kilometer area below the crust, the upper mantle area 200 kilometer, that is known as lithosphere. Correct? Lithosphere. After this 400 kilometer area, the area of 400 kilometer, that is known as asthenosphere. Below the crust, the up to the 400 kilometer area, that is known as asthenosphere. What is the importance of asthenosphere? It is a weak zone of mantle, and here the magma is present. Right? Due to this, volcanic eruptions took place. Correct? So as we go inside the earth, inside the magma, inside the mantle, then we saw that up to 400 kilometer there is a weak zone that is called asthenosphere, and where the which is a rich source of magma. When the volcanic eruptions took place, or by this weak zone the volcanic eruptions took place, because the magma lies inside the earth, and where there it find a weaker section inside the earth, it rises up and the volcanic eruptions took place. Correct? And it has density higher than the density is higher than 13.4 gram per cubic centimeter. Clear? So the crust and the uppermost part of the mantle are called lithosphere, and up to the 400 kilometer part, that is called asthenosphere. We can divide the mantle into two parts also. The entire depth of mantle is 2900 kilometer. Clear? Here you can see, suppose this is a mantle portion and this is our crust. Correct? So what happened? Up to 200 kilometer, it's all portion 200 kilometer. This is 33 kilometer. That is called lithosphere. After that, there is a zone and which is up to 400 kilometer. That is called asthenosphere. And this is another zone which lies up to the 650 kilometer, and this zone is known as upper mantle. And this is 2900 kilometer. That is known as lower mantle. Right? So upper mantle, because the magma lies in this part, that's why upper mantle. That's why we considered that we came to know that the upper mantle is in liquid form, because magma lies in this part of mantle, upper mantle. So it suggests that the upper mantle is in liquid form, while the inner lower mantle, this portion is in solid state. Clear? Now the third is core. As we came to know that there is a discontinuity in the velocity of P waves after the crust, and we conclude that there is another layer. Similarly, there is another discontinuity after the mantle. Mantle is up to the 2900 kilometer. So after 2900 kilometer, there is a again change in the velocity of the P waves, which suggests us that there is another layer, right? So this continuity, it is recognized by the seismologist Gutenberg, and this continuity is known as, after his name, this Gutenberg discontinuity, where there is a change in velocity of P waves. And after 2900 kilometer, because there is a change in the velocity of P waves, it suggests that there is another material, and that layer is known as core. Correct? So that layer is known as core. In the shadow zone, we saw that the P waves can reach at the core, but the S waves disappeared after 2900 kilometer. So it gives us an idea that the outer core is made up of liquid material, while the inner core is in solid state. Correct? So inner core is solid state. It means it have the material of a great density. So high dense material is found in the inner core, and the material like nickel and ferrous. That's why they could not be made, and they are in solid state right now. Clear? So our core is up to 6,300 kilometer. The depth of the core is 6,300 kilometer. And the material found in the core mantle boundary is 5 gram per centimeter cube, while when we reach at the core, the material is 13 gram per cubic centimeter, and so on. The density of material increases when we go to the inner core also. So by these three structure of the earth, we came to know that when we go inside the earth, the density of material increases. It suggests that the high dense material settled in the core, while the less dense material layered over it. Correct? So this is the structure of the earth. Now the another important part of this chapter is volcanoes. In the part of volcanoes, we came to know about the volcanoes, volcanic eruptions, how the volcanic eruptions took place, and what are the exclusive and intrusive form of volcanoes, right? So volcanoes, suppose this is crust and this is mantle, upper mantle. So here is a magma chamber. In this part of upper mantle, the magma is found. Correct? Now what happened? This magma is in liquid form, and every time it is keep on moving. When there is increase in the temperature or its boiling point, it rose up. It rose up, and where there it find a weaker section, it rose from that weaker section and come to the surface of the earth. Right? So it erupt suddenly, and that eruption is known as volcanic eruptions. When it come on the surface of the earth, magma, when it comes on the surface of the earth, it is known as lava. Lava contains many of gases, as we described in the second chapter, that there are some gases included in the atmosphere when the volcanic eruptions took place. So there are a lot of gases ejected during the volcanic eruption, right? So some of these gases like nitrogen, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, argon, all these gases are ejected from the volcanic eruptions. Along these gases, there are some dust particles also, and ash, some water vapor. So different type of materials ejected when the volcanic eruption took place. Now, what happened when it came at the surface? It came in the contact of atmosphere, and slowly and gradually this lava began to solidify. And when it solidified, it takes a different kinds of shapes, different type of landforms are formed by the solidification of lava, right? So different type of material ejected, so they form different type of landforms also. And when these landforms are formed at the above of the crust, means at the surface, they are known as exclusive landforms of volcano. Similarly, sometimes during the volcanic eruptions, magma couldn't become at the surface. They remain at the below to the crust, and slowly and gradually it began to solidify there. By any reason, the magma solidified below the crust. So these type of similarly there it also formed a different type of landforms, and such landforms are known as intrusive landforms by volcanoes. Correct? The landforms which are formed over the surface that are known as exclusive, while the landforms which are formed under the surface that is known as intrusive. Both are created by the solidification of lava. Correct? So one by one we will focus at these landforms. First is exclusive. Before it, you must know that there are three types of volcanoes. First is active volcano, second is dormant volcano, and third is extinct volcano. Right? These are three types of volcanoes. Active volcanoes, these volcanoes keep on ejecting volcanic material at frequent interval. They are frequently erupt. They are erupt frequently, right? So active. They are called active volcano, right? So these, for example, Stromboli volcano of Sicily. It is erupted after every 15 minutes. So that is a best example of active volcano. Second is dormant or sleeping volcano. Dormant or sleeping, as its name suggests, it abrupt after a long time. It means sleeping. When it is sleeping, it is stable. When it wake up, then it abrupt. Right? So dormant volcanoes are those in which eruption has not occurred regularly for a long time, but after a long time it can suddenly erupt. So Vesuvius volcano of Italy is the best example of dormant volcano which erupts 10 times in 1500 years. 10 times 1500 years means it erupts after a very long time. Second is extinct volcano. Extinct volcanoes, some time before they were active volcano, but now there is no eruptions in these volcanoes. So they never erupted. Now they are considered as the extinct volcanoes. By the 1,000 or 100 years, they are not erupted. So when they are not erupted, there is a plantation, there is a vegetation, there is a living organisms are also there. Human beings start to live in those volcanic areas, right? So these are the three types of volcano: active, dormant, and extinct. Now the exclusive landforms. Actually, as I told you that these forms depend upon that how the lava solidified, which type of material is in that volcanic eruption. So we divided the volcano in a number of landforms. First is ash or cinder form. One more thing, when the volcanic eruptions, here is a volcano, right? So here is a magma chamber. It is common for all. Here is a magma chamber. So there is some part of volcanoes through which area the magma is passing. That is called vent. vent of the volcano. By the vent, the magma came to the surface of the earth. The top of the volcano is in a circular shape that is called crater, right? Because later on the mouth of volcano is a great circular depression area which is later on filled with water and create a lake. So that area is known as crater, right? So you must know all these. Now what happened? Ash or cinder cone, as its name suggesting that the ash is ejecting while the volcanoes erupt. So the material, it is the type of volcano when the material ejected that is cooled down quickly in solid small pieces. It is a vent. And what happened? After one another, the volcanic eruptions took place and this type of material gets solidified in this type. One after another, there is a layer, right? So this is called ash or cinder cone because at that time the solid object which is ejected, small solid object is ejected during the volcanic eruption and these solid objects are known as cinder, right? So this cone is known as cinder cone. The second is shield volcanoes. Shield volcanoes, in this type of landform, when the volcanic this type of landform is made when the volcanoes ejected some fluid material, right? So fluid material is more in this type of volcanoes. What would happen? There is a volcano, right? So what would happen? Because the material is in fluid form, so it can spread to the larger area. So it forms like a shield. No doubt, same procedure will be going on one after one another. There is a volcanic eruptions and it forms layer after layer, but it spreads to a large area, right? So they makes a thin sheet. So it covers like a shield. So they are known as shield volcanoes. The third one is composite volcanoes. Composite volcanoes, they are those volcanoes, they are considered as the largest volcanoes at the surface of the earth. Largest and the highest volcanic cones they are formed by lava and ash, right? So they are the largest and highest volcanoes and it have the parallel layers after one another. Now what happened? There is a volcanic eruptions, there is a vent clear, and there is a mouth from where the lava ejected. Clear? So what would happen? The material will deposit in the parallel direction and there can be more than one or two veins. Maybe here can be a vein and other smaller volcanic mouth, same here. So they create a parallel layers of the ash and lava, that is known as composite volcanoes, because there are more than one range, so they have the maximum ejected material, and that's why they are the largest and highest volcanoes. The next is caldera. Caldera is similar to the composite. Caldera, what happened? They are differ from each other by their area and size, right? So 1 to 2 kilometers being the lower limit for the diameter of caldera, right? So the largest caldera is of in the Japan, where it is in 27 kilometer. So 1 to 2 kilometer to 27 kilometer, the diameter can be of diameter of this part crater. Now what happened? Caldera, sometimes there are 2 to 3 veins. Suppose here is volcanic eruption, here is volcanic eruption. Later on, what happened? All these part, this is a crater number 1. Suppose this is crater number 2, and suppose this is crater number 3. What would happen? There is a eruption in these volcanoes frequently. What would happen? Later on, its wall can be collapsed. It will be collapsed, it will be collapsed, and all these will merge, and it will form a large crater, right? So all the 3 veins will, there could be collapsed in the veins, and they will merge into one another, and there is a large crater formation that is known as caldera. Right? The next is the last one is a flood basalt. Flood basalt provinces flood basalt provinces. Provinces means a large area, right? Thousands of kilometers. Basalt, it is a material which is ejecting during the volcanoes. And flood, flood means flood of overflowing, जिसको हम कहते हैं flood of material. So when the lava ejected during the volcanic eruption, it spread to thousands of kilometers. So in this form, there is a basalt formation. The basalt is ejected during the volcanic eruptions, and it spread to a large area. And after the time, with the passage of time, it began to solidify, and all the region is formed by the basalt rock. Because in this type of volcano, there is a like a overflow of basalt. Like overflow means flood. There is a flood of basalt which spread over a vast area, and when it began to solidify, it becomes a basalt rock formation, or which we call igneous rocks. And the Deccan Trap in India is formed by the flood basalt volcanoes, right? The next is mid-oceanic ridge volcanoes. Mid-oceanic ridge volcanoes. What are these? As its name suggested, mid-oceanic, the middle of the ocean. There is a ridge. Ridge is like mountains. As there is a mountain over the surface, in the ocean, The mountains are called ridge. What happened? Suppose there is a sea bottom, because there is also a crust, oceanic crust. So when, because in every ocean, the middle part of the ocean is a separate zone of two different plates. Here is another plate, there is another plate. So this is a joint of two plates in the middle of ocean in every ocean. So it is a weaker zone. What happened in the crust, oceanic crust, when the volcanic eruption took place, because this is the weaker zone, because it's a joint of two plates in the ocean. So when the volcanic eruptions took place, the magma comes in this portion. In this portion, when the magma comes, it is in liquid form. But when it comes in the contact of atmosphere, it begin to solidify. When it will solidify, again and again and again it happens, and after one another it is goes higher, and it forms the ridge, mountains in the oceans that separates the ocean into two parts. Clear? So this is the mid-oceanic ridge, which is formed by the volcanic eruption at the crust. Clear? So all these are the exclusive forms made by volcanoes at the surface of the earth. Similarly, there are some landforms which are created by the volcanoes inside the earth. Right? So they are known as intrusive forms. Intrusive forms. Same here. It is formed, or it can be separated by their shape. In which shape they will solidify, in which area they will solidify, they are considered as separate. Right? So the first intrusive form is batholith. Same like flood basalt provinces, there is a larger, suppose this is crust. Now we are considering the intrusive form which is under the crust. When the volcanic eruptions took place here, what happened? When the lava ejected, it could not be reached at the crust. It began to solidify under the crust over a large area. Right? So it solidified under the crust over a large area, and this is formed by basalt, and this large area which is more than 100 kilometers, that is known as batholith. Second is stalk. Stalk and batholith differs in their size. Right? So they differs in their size. Small size of batholith, which is usually, it is more than 100 square kilometer. It is less than 100 square kilometer. Right? So small formation of basalt rocks under the crust is known as stalk. The third is laccolith. Laccolith, when the magma solidified in small dome shape, गुंबद जिसको हम हिंदी में कहते हैं, तो it can be differ in shape like this or this, when whatever, but when the magma solidified in the shape of dome, that is known as laccolith. Sometime magma solidified in saucer-like shape, that is known as laccolith. Right? So next is phacolith. peak goes higher, there is a wave-like formations, right? So when the magma solidified in wave-like structure, that is known as peccolith. Clear? Next is sill and sheet. When the magma solidified in a thin layer, form of thin layer, that is called sill. Sill and sheet also can be differentiated according to their thickness, right? So sheet is less thick than the sill, that is sheet. Which have less than 1 meter thickness. It have